Okay, we are looking at Can't Stop, and I'm going to play the first 8 bars of the song for you, and they sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, pretty simple riff. What I'm doing is going from 5 to 7 on the A and then just adding a bit of vibrato. So you can hear I'm going once, twice, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's 5 times round that 5 to 7 on the A, but just with that phrase. Okay, so it's like 3, 4. Okay, and just adding that little vibrato on the 5th fret A string there every time. Okay, so we play that for 4 bars, and all we do is we just increase the dynamic, so we just get louder. Start off nice and quiet, and we just get gradually louder throughout the 8 bars. Okay, so we play the first 4 bars exactly like that. When we come to the 5th bar, there's a slight variation. When we play it the second time round, we do a little semitone bend there, just coming up from the 7 to 8. Okay, so that's going to be the second part. And then when we would come to the end of it, we would play 5 on the A, 7 on the low E, and then we play 7 to 5 to 7 on the A. Okay, so that 5th bar, one more time, 3, 4. Okay, then the 6th, 7th and 8th bars are the same as before, yet you just increase that volume all the time. So let's just play it one more time and we'll have the intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. That concludes the intro. Okay, moving on to the main riff. You're going to hear this riff pretty much throughout the whole song. It's a really, really good riff. I'm going to play and then I'm going to explain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what we do there is we start by playing 7 on the A string twice. And then you'll notice we have this little motif that pretty much happens between all the bass notes, which is moving between 7 to 9 on the G string. Okay? Now, without trying to I don't want to make this riff really, really difficult, but basically what happens is some of the time he goes from 7 to 9 with nothing in the middle, in other words, just a straight. Okay? And other times he'll go, okay? So what he'll do is hit that 7, do a muted up pick, and then hit the 9 straight after. It's a fairly kind of loose riff, so you've got a choice of going between those two things. So anyway, just recapping, twice on 7A, play that little motif, then 3 times more on 7A, and then the motif again. Then we play 7A a further 3 times, and then hit open D, then do the motif, 3 times on open D. Then we play open A once to D twice. Then our next bass note is going to be 7 on the low E, B with a motif, 3 times on that note, motif again. Then we play twice on that 7 low E to 8 low E being a C note, and then play the motif, play that C 3 times, and then we play this C note twice, and then we go back to the riff again, or back to the start of the riff, okay? Now, it sounds quite confusing, but basically what we've got is these notes going on, and then in the middle of it we've got this. So what I want to do is play it really, really slowly for you, okay, and then hopefully you're going to get a much better idea of what happens. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's once round the riff. So you can vary it around a little bit, but that gives you the basic idea. Now, it's my belief that the two parts of this riff were done separately. Okay, I think that this part was done, and then I think this was done after. Because if you listen to the record, it's a much more aggressive. Now, it's virtually impossible to do that when you're playing both the parts. So don't worry if you're not making it sound exactly right, because basically what's happening is the bass line is being played and then an overdub. And I think when you hear it like that, you can sort of identify that it sounds much more like the record. Okay, so I'll play it up to speed one time and we'll move on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's look at the arrangement from the very top of the song through to the first chorus. The first 8 bars are the opening riff we learned. Then we play the main riff round once, and that's going to be 4 bars. Then the first verse comes in. We play the main riff 4 times to provide the music for the first verse. That's going to be 16 bars in total. Now, the first 15 bars are exactly the same as playing the riff round 4 times, but in the 16th bar, there's going to be a slight difference, and that bar is going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. What we're doing is just holding down an E minor triad and running down it 7 high E, 8 B, 9 G, and we basically run down that 4 times. And then on the 5th time, we just play the 7 high E and the 8 B, and then do 2 chacks. More muted like that. So I'm going to play it nice and slowly for you. 2, 3, 4. And that will conclude the first verse. Now, just so you can hear exactly how it fits in with the last riff, I'm going to play the last riff in its entirety, and then I'm going to put that little section on the end so you can hear how it all works together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what you saw me do there was play round the riff, and when I landed at that B note, the 7th fret low E, all I did was put 2 9s on the end and then straight into that riff. Okay, let's play it up to speed and we can move on. 1, 2, 3, 4.